What did you hit, she asks. Well, that thing came right out all in one piece. But you can't smell it. It has a funny smell in here. Oh, that's why. Time to clean.
We arrived at Catalina State Park to a mess, but after a quick cleanup, we started to explore. Catalina State Park, just north of Tucson, sits at the base of the Santa Catalina Mountains. The park has many hiking and biking trails, some that connect to the Tucson Loop, which is a 137-mile bike path that winds through Pima County and Tucson. We planned 8 nights here to visit Saguaro National Park, drive Mount Lemmon, get the truck serviced, as well as get my hair done. This 60-year-old is not going gray anytime soon. At the end of our time, we headed up to McDowell Regional County Park near Scottsdale for a few nights of relaxation before meeting our dear friends Mark and Margaretta in Phoenix for dinner. Join us as we experience all the variations of desert beauty in this video coming up.
So there's a stable down at the end of the road as you enter the park. They do trail rides and such. Or you can bring your own. All right, kind of at the high point of this trail. But pretty gorgeous surroundings here.
Now it feels wonderful.
Our first outing was to drive up Mount Lemmon, which was highly recommended. We used the U of A science tour to narrate the drive and teach us about the different terrain and ecosystems we observed on the 27-mile trip to the top. Desert at the bottom to mature evergreen forest at the top, with snow still on the ground at 9,100 feet.
That's why when we burn wood or
Here we go. This is the crazy people. Always to the edge. Always to the edge of everything. Oh. Okay. Feeling a little nauseous, but it is cool, I have to say. I guess we could go out there. Okay, that makes me nervous. Little kids on that rock. Wow.
After servicing the truck, I took a ride up to the Casa Grande ruins. Here, remnants of a 1,000-year-old Hohokam community, and specifically a great house, have been discovered and preserved. While in the area, I stopped by the Lactalis U.S. yogurt plant in Casa Grande. Thank you to Brad for giving me a tour of the facility. A lot has changed since I was last here 6 years ago, and though my heart is in Vermont, I was impressed with how neat and orderly the plant is. The Arizona team should be very proud. Later in the week, we headed to Saguaro National Park, which is made up of 2 separate areas, with the city of Tucson sitting in the middle. One day, we visited the Western Union, driving the Cactus Loop and taking a short hike. Then after lunch, we toured the Sonoran Desert Museum. Here, we could see some of the wildlife that had been eluding us, and Lori was happy to spend time in the cactus and agave gardens, which were in full bloom. The next day, we traveled to the east unit of the park, drove that cactus loop, and took a longer hike through the desert. The great CCC had built beautiful picnic areas in both units for those of us who like to bring our lunch with us.
Some of the hikes there isn't a lot of parking. And then we happened to be there when they were going to give a garden tour, so we got to see some things right in close, and the saguaros, really understand the life cycle of them, so that was very interesting as well.
Outside and on the inside. Inside our visitor center, we actually have a cross section that we call a saguaro cookie, and you can see the outside and the inside and where the bones would be. You can see like the thickness of the flesh that is around the saguaro. They're about, I would say 90% water, and the rest is just their flesh and bones.
Yeah.
We're gaining elevation, so losing my breath.
And all of the different, right? The saguaros are the ones that get the press right there, the big typical or stereotypical cactus, but the prickly pear and all the others all work together. So it is amazing how much life is supported here in the desert. It's a wet desert, they told us today. That's why the saguaros are here and nowhere else, is because of the moisture that they also need.
Which is so interesting because we haven't seen hardly any rain since we left Vermont on February 1st, but hopefully their January was wet here.
All right, so we're not all the way to the top of the mountain.
Now,
Still got a lot of trail to go, but
we're hungry.
we're hungry,
And we packed a picnic lunch, which we often do.
and it's a pretty nice view, even though the screen will not do it justice.
Right.
All the different cactuses here in the valley below us. Let's go back down and have lunch.
So far, this is my favorite part of this museum. The cactus garden. There's none. It's just beautiful. Ride our bikes around this loop, but something told us that it probably was going to be steep, so we're opting for driving.
Vegetables.
Day 2 of Saguaro National Park. We are on the east side, Rincon Mountains. Maybe in the back of us, not sure. But we are here. We're going to eat lunch first today, and it's a really pretty spot.
Salad.
They have a picnic area here. So, and then we'll probably do some hiking after that. It's chilly today.
It's cool. It said the high would be 65. It's less than 60.
Yeah.
Started out at 45, so it was a brisk morning.
The east side is at a higher elevation too, so that's
True. Yeah.
Right.
Higher elevation, so it stays cooler, so the cactuses are healthier.
and we're actually close to Mount Lemon where we went up the other day. So
Yeah.
all right, lunchtime, then hiking. Coming up on the main route that goes by Catalina State Park, I think it's Route 77 or North Oracle Road, and it's definitely a very busy road, so we're hoping we don't have to cross it, but that there's an underground bike path. That's what we're about to find out. Hi, we have found the bike path. right? Okay. Alright, ahead of us is that Route 77 or North Oracle Road. Sam tells me to stay right into a dead end. And sometimes we have rabbits.
Down the boulevard, got no directions, we've been lost from the start. It's such a strange world we're living in. So many things to see, but where do we begin? What a beautiful world, what a beautiful world that I'm living in, that I'm living in with you. What a beautiful world, what a beautiful world that I'm living in, that I'm living in with you. We've got forever, so who needs time? Every moment with you feels so sublime. And if I could, I wouldn't change a thing being here with you. Yeah, it feels like a dream. What a beautiful world, what a beautiful world